Well, family is, first of all, God's idea, and it is that part of life that brings out the best and the worst of us. And so family is about making adjustments to the stressors that kids bring, and growth, stretching our own, person to our character comes out. And so we think that family is awesome. Just what family is God's plan to bring out the best, and it is His plan. As far as getting involved in church ministry with family, that's where a lot of, I think, people today feel like, oh, it's just a season right now for me to just hunker in, stay home, and not bring my children. And what I say to that, my burden for that is that when kids aren't raised in the house of the Lord as little, as middle schoolers, as hot teenagers, they miss at each of those really key, crucial growing up stages the experience of knowing God in a very personal way, which happens in a church with worship, education that brings the Bible alive to their certain age group. So when parents tell me that, oh, this is a season, I'm just overwhelmed, my kids aren't going to come anymore because they're overwhelmed, I'm too overwhelmed, I say, you're going to miss out on maybe the pivotal time in their life for them to touch God and God to touch their heart. So I get really concerned. I get very burdened about that. That's a real burden to me. It's not for their kids to miss out on the great plan that God has for their life. It's not about the parents' survival at that point, even though that's what they think, but it really is about the kids.
A lot of people feel like I can't be a dedicated Christian or a dedicated member of a local church because I'm too busy taking care of my family and raising my kids, and we have enough pressure there with Little League and ballet and all these different activities we have our kids involved in that we really can't get them to church because we're trying to develop them as kids, and we need family time at home. And I think it's really important for young families to know that really that we got to figure out who is the center of our life. Kids need to understand who's the center of their life. The kids don't run the schedule of the home. The parents really do, and the parents run that schedule based on what is a priority. Jesus is the center of our life. And so if we live a life where we're so busy doing things that we don't have time to serve other people, to learn God's Word, to worship Him, to live for a purpose or a cause other than our own self-interest, Jesus is no longer really the center of our life. And so it is stressful. It's a challenge to raise kids in a local church environment where you're dedicated to other people and other things that are related to the church. But I've been in full-time Christian ministry since I was 26 years of age, and we raised all our kids as I was a pastor in the church. And yeah, we had times when people were pulling on us and demanding a lot of our time, and we had unique schedules where things got a little bit hectic. But our kids learned that really Christ was the center of our life, and it wasn't just Dad doing these things, we were all doing these things together. And seeing my 4 daughters develop over the years, one thing I can say about all 4 of them is that they learned that Christ is the center, and we're here not to serve ourselves but to serve other people. And because of that, they know how to suck it up and sometimes roll up their sleeves and serve other people, and it's not about them. And that character quality I don't think would ever be in them if we just kind of catered to all their interests and needs in their life. And I would trade the years with my kids and serving Jesus with them next to us for anything. And what was produced out of that is something I think real beautiful and great.